Hey everyone, Senrai here, back with episode 23 of Mushoku Tensei, which I think is the final episode. But last episode was, it was something, wasn't it? Last episode, a lot happened. We kind of had to say goodbye to two very important characters in the show. They couldn't space it out at all. It had to be all in the same episode. Like they tried to have a little bit of positivity, a little bit of happiness with Rudy having a very special evening with Eris, but it doesn't really make up for losing both of them in one episode. Like I was a little bit salty about that in the episode. I don't know if it came across my reaction, but yeah, we kind of ended off the episode with I think Rudy just like walking off somewhere and crying. It was not a happy episode. The show has definitely had happier episodes with more cheerful, hopeful endings. But yeah, I think she cut her hair. She left a note. She left. She said something about not being well matched with him. I think. But there's probably a joke or two you can make there, but I don't really want to. So yeah, I guess we just got to go see what Rudy does. You know, I was kind of putting off watching this episode because I don't know. With the way the last episode went, I kind of had to push myself to watch the next one. But you know, I can't just not watch it. So yeah, hopefully we can hope for the best. So yeah, let's jump on in. 3, 2, 1, play. Bum 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 bum. It's nighttime. Now he's all alone, so... Oh no, this is, okay. Okay, this is not what I expected to see first. That's unexpected, but not bad. At least we get to confirm she's okay. Barely. So, are we just gonna, like, follow them from now on? Because I'd be okay with that. That top just... Something about it just makes you want to just grab it and pull up and just have it flop out. I wouldn't because she would kill me, but just... More to the point, I'm surprised it doesn't just do it on its own. Whenever she just, like, walks moderately quickly. The wheels continue to turn, like the wheels of time. Just the hand movements he did there. It looks so much like when you're taking water to drink it. I was just like expecting him to do it, even though it would make no sense with what he grabbed, but I'm starting to think that they're trying to get across the point that these people are sweaty. I mean, the studio can choose what it wants to spend its animation budget on, I guess. If I was Rudy, I would have like grabbed that hair and just like snuggled with it. Because you know it's got still have scent on it. Okay, a sudden flashback. So I guess these are the jerks, very clearly. So this is what makes him a target. Gotcha. I knew this wouldn't be a happy episode, but I wasn't expecting the flashback stuff. Of course he does, because you're a bad person and he calls you out on it. And there's one thing a bad person doesn't like, is that. Well, at least those scenes filled in some gaps in his backstory for us. I feel like we have a pretty complete picture at this point. Sound like she said keys and eye for a second. But we know how this ends, you know. With him being Isekai and being able to have a second chance at life. Which went well for a while, until it didn't. ABC. All my children are strong. All of them. How many children does she have? How many siblings does he have? Yeah, not so different now. Come so far, and this is where we're at. Not until my cute redhead girlfriend comes back. Rudy, would you like to use your protagonist power to help us out? I really don't think you're gonna get through to him. Not right now. Well, that's something, I guess. Man, he does not look good. He's just talking. Yeah, that was pretty much what he was saying. That may be true, but it usually doesn't matter to the person suffering. I don't really know, honestly, what could have been done better to get a better result. It's not ReZero, you can't redo anyway. Oh, now he's not going with the hair. I think he got him. There we go, some animation. Okay. Good. I really don't expect to see what he's up to this episode. And why'd you leave him? He says with pride. Good thing they're not freaking out like Eris did the first time she met him. So I guess that may have sparked a realization in her. I guess I get where she's coming from. I still think of Kalar every time I see a gem on a forehead of a character. It really does not seem like it. That definitely helps. Shots fired at Eris. Well, the old Rudy, we wouldn't have had that problem. he says so matter of factly. I have never eaten a child, and I never plan to. It's not part of my daily diet. Too bad Rudy couldn't hear that. Oh, the short hair. She almost looks like the girl from Yakusoku no Neverland. The short hair. Emma. You need to get some gloves, boys. I heard that sound and I was thinking, is somebody being attacked or something? I guess you haven't seen a little bit of comic relief. Yeah, we're just checking up on everyone, which I guess makes sense if it's the last episode. Go from a desert, from a snow area to a desert in the Animal Girl Kingdom. Can we go back there? Yeah, Nina de Bibash. Man, I forgot how cute some of these girls were. Yeah, the figures. Salty. Told you. Enjoy, yeah. Man, it's been a while since we've seen these people. Don't remember any of their names. I barely remember the scenes they were in. The guy on the second floor. Good thing there's subtitles because I would not be able to hear that. Keeps going to the guy on the second floor. Does not have a name. Oh, wow. Hey, okay. Wow. Okay. I see people I like. Got me excited. And how much does she drink? Like her belly seems kind of bigger. Kishirika. And how much have you had to drink? I can imagine the blonde elf girl over there's drank a lot. Should have known Roxy would come up at some point if they were showing less important characters this episode. Yeah, she's over there doing her thing. It's quite the fidgeting she's got there. You can't just sell her. Till I have a chance to save up the money. Yeah, as a general life advice. I wouldn't call that a minor thing. I want a cool eye. They'll just say pay you back with their body. That's her. See that 3 times fast. Oh, are we actually gonna give her a cool eye? I was joking, but yeah, that'd be awesome. Especially if it has like a completely different power than what Rudy does. A long lost student. I really can't recommend jumping out of a moving vehicle like that, but I get that she's excited. At least we did see some people reunite. Hey, there's Norn. Is that her name? I'm sure. She looks so happy back there. Oh, so she was seeing all that. Okay. Oh, are we actually gonna see the mother? Do I want to see the mother? Man, we are really going down. Where are we going? It's probably not a good sign. Where is she being held? That's something. Something. Bigger it. Rappan inside Japan. Yeah, it's a word for it. I'm glad you find that amusing. So what about Sylph? Can you check on her for me? Tumbleweed. A freaking tumbleweed. Well, like you got some pretty good information there. Well, she probably is some form of prisoner. Yeah, I hope so. He's taking this pretty hard. I don't think that's true. I mean, we're really getting into the real meat of the show as a whole. The idea of getting a second chance, if you can change, if given one. What are we doing here? Okay, just straight up flashback. Nani? Too bad I'm not wearing my Nani shirt. Whatever you gotta do to win. He's got you there. Yeah, Mud will do that. Forgot how pretty she was. Seeing her again is really making me nostalgic for the beginning of the show. That'll be the best alarm clock you've ever seen, Mother. So I assume we're going to transition to our current state? Because this is probably like a dream or something? Oh wow, that face. It'll make me nervous. You really do. The more the show teases me about that, the more I really want to just do it. It's like I think that's like the last character of importance that they haven't revealed the location of situation for. Man, actually kind of giving me chills. Wake up and take a step. Oh wow, that final 20 seconds or so. So is there going to be any kind of stinger, any kind of teaser for another season? Pretty impressive, huh? Recruit him. I mean, it's not really all that exaggerated. Who are these people? I also like her voice. Oh, wait. Wait. It's not Sylph, is it? I mean, that wouldn't... Thanks for watching. Who was that? Because when they said friend, I was like, I mean, who's Rudy's friend besides Self that we don't know about the location and circumstances of? Because aside from like the mother, like Self is only one other person like that. But I mean, Self wouldn't be that. I don't know. Anyway, that was the 23rd and final episode of Mushoku Tensei. So yeah, I feel like there was a lot in this episode. There's a certain point where I thought maybe this was an extra length episode, but no, it just standard length. It just, man, they really had a lot in it. Because they like touched base on almost every character, really. Even characters I don't remember the name of. Whether it be going to the desert or they're at the beach or whatever, like everyone kind of doing their thing. But they also went heavily into the backstory of our protagonist, right? We already knew the gist of it, right? His previous life, he was not going too well. He was like going hikikomori. He got bullied. It kind of led him to that state, and eventually dying and getting isekai'd. I mean, we kind of like we more or less knew the situation, but they still managed to fill in some extra gaps in this episode, like what made him a target of the bullying initially, and that was him, of course, confronting the jerks. And when you do that, they go after you. You know, it's kind of how that works. But yeah, this was not a good episode for Rudy. I mean, as far as his like mental state, at least in the earlier parts. I had to kind of decide how I want to talk about this episode, because really like two aspects of the episode, right? Showcasing little bits of what everyone else is doing, showing you kind of where they're at, and Rudy working through his stuff, right? So I should probably do one of those first, and then the other one. So, because I think the very first thing we saw was actually Eris, and she was with Ghislaine, and they're doing pretty well. And yeah, once Eris kind of talked about a little bit about the almost dying thing, some stuff started to click up in my head, and I was like, yeah, because if Rudy died, you know, what would she do, right? So she kind of go on her own quest to be able to find her own way, you know, become her own person, because she's gotten a lot of great training from her spear wielding sensei, and yeah, just now that she's separated from him, she also separated from Rudy, so she gets to go out there and show the world what she's made of, you know, do her best, bond with Ghislaine, who they haven't seen each other for a while. So it is cool that they get to do that, although her hair is short, which still upsets me. I don't think I talked about it too much in the last episode, but I always hate when a cute anime girl just cuts off 90% of her hair. You know, it's like a character development thing. Monogatari did it a lot. I've always hated it. I've always hated it so much. Anyone that's watched all of my videos, not that there's anyone like that, but anyone who's watched all my videos probably knows that. But at least you wore a hood. That was actually kind of what made it more tolerable. It gave me some time to like come to terms with it before they did the full reveal of her short hair, right? It helped a little bit, but especially because the hood's cute with the cat ears and stuff. But we also got the Ruijerd stuff, which was great because people are afraid of him, right? And a decent section of the show was dedicated towards adventuring with him and trying to help him out, right? So getting to see him help some people and getting some real gratitude from them, some actual talking and not like fear and running away or anything like that. It was just a really good moment for him, right? Like that was a really wholesome scene. I don't know how to describe it, but it was nice. I don't know. I kind of want them to start adventuring together, but I don't need children. Like but yeah, I don't know. Just yeah, I think they like him. I think they're friends now. But we also got our figure-loving guy, Zano, the guy, right? We got to see him briefly. We got to see the animal girl kingdom, you know, in all their glory. Got to see that one people back from the guild stuff, right? And we even got to see Roxy and our Lord and Savior Demon King girl, Zubazaba, I think was her name. But yeah, she got all tied up at a certain point. I don't know what to make of her as far as like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about her. She's just such a unique character. But she helped out Roxy, which is great. She used her all-seeing eye to like see a bunch of people. Didn't actually get a good look at Rudy's mother though. I think she started to get close, but maybe there's some kind of magical entity or magical force field that's kind of disrupting it. Which, if that's the case, makes me really wonder what situation she's in. Right. But yeah, we had a really, really heartwarming scene of Aisha reuniting with her father and all that. Like that couldn't have been done any better. Even like so eager to see her father, she like comes out of the moving vehicle. Like it was nice. It's good to have a little bit of reuniting, some happiness in this mostly depressing episode, but still kind of contrasting because Norn wasn't all that happy, right? Because Norn's not with her mother, right? So even though Aisha's got a full family right there, sort of, Norn not so lucky, right? So you can definitely imagine the complicated feelings that she might have after that. But I do actually look at the part where she's trying to find the mother, see what I can kind of glean from that, because it goes down, it's all dark, and we go into like a damp cave kind of area, right? And it's still really dark, and then we see what looks like kind of like it made me think of dragon scales at first, some kind of crystallized, thing. Like I don't know, it looks like it's kind of shaped like an overall giant monster. I'm not quite sure. We really don't get a good look at it before it gets started distorted and stuff. But it made me think she was like in some kind of underground layer of some very powerful being that she somehow got wrapped up in, right? Because if the teleportation was random, you could have been anywhere, right? So that could lead to some very unique circumstances theoretically. But yeah, they definitely gave us a little bit more stuff to wonder about, because most of any other character they've been really ambiguous about what happened to her. The only character comparable is Sylph, but I don't think they brought up Sylph as much as with the mother. And we even got some flashbacks of the mother. I think they were from Rudy's perspective, I guess. But yeah, some nice stuff back in the good old days, before life was horrible, right? But yeah, now we can talk about the Rudy stuff specifically. So where do I start with that? Okay. Rudy is not in a good place mentally at the beginning of this episode. He had got abandoned. Rudy already went a separate way, and then he got abandoned by Eris right after sleeping together. Right, didn't even give a proper goodbye, just like a note and a pile of hair. And just suddenly he's all alone again, right? And he's been doing his best since the teleportation, right? Obviously, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. That was kind of a source of drama with the father. But still, it's a struggle when you've been forcibly cast away from the home you've always known and have to just try to survive out in the unknown territory, right? So it's been rough, but he's made friends along the way who kind of helped him get through it, right? It would have been a very different show if Ruby, Jerd, and Eris were not with him at any point. If he literally was by himself the whole time, it would not have been the kind of thing you would happily talk about, like a fun adventure to your father, probably, if it wasn't for that. But now that is what it is. Everyone left. He is all by himself, just fully abandoned. And that very clearly brought up some deep-seated trauma to his real life, where he kind of became alienated from everyone else, kind of just all alone in a corner, feeling sorry for himself, getting depressed, getting paranoid, right? And now he's very much kind of starting to fall into that same pattern, which is getting him to kind of like doubt the legitimacy of this second life at all. He's starting to think that maybe it was just a lie, right? Because everybody wants to believe they can have a second chance, take all the past experiences they had, the lessons they've learned, and apply all that to a blank slate. Like it's a common thing to think about, even though it doesn't really work that way in real life because there's no magic or anything in real life. But he was able to do that, right? He clearly had a previous life that was less than satisfactory, and suddenly he had a blank slate to do better. So no doubt he told himself all the time that he would do better this time. And he did for a while, but then he got to the current situation where he probably feels like everything came crashing down around him, and nothing's really changed after all. It was just a fleeting dream, and just like his previous life was probably good for a while, but came crashing down at a certain point, this life has done the same thing, and that's always how it'll be. Even if you get the third life, that's probably kind of the direction his thoughts are starting to go into. But luckily, by the end of the episode, he seemed to have worked through some stuff, and we got some really great, just, I don't know how to describe it. The kind of like overlappingness of his old self and new self, and walking out through the door, taking that first step ahead, right? Not just wallowing in that corner, but actually picking yourself back up even when the times are hard, and moving forward in spite of it, and hoping to find, some happiness again, right? So, you just want in and out, don't you? Like, seriously, just go lay in the corner. But yeah. So, definitely great to see that we did not end the episode off on a depressing note, because that would not have been ideal. And then we had something at the very end, which I'm not quite sure what to make of. Because we had some people talk about Rudy, the Saint class water mage at age 5 without incantations. Definitely sounds like the kind of exaggeration, right? But they don't know he's an isekai anime protagonist. So, of course they would think that. But, I'll let you out. Well, wrong button. Probably hit the right button. But yeah, this scene with these people in some country, I'm not sure which one it is, like, they're talking about Rudy, and they ask this person what kind of relationship with Rudy, and just says he's my savior, my mentor, and my friend. And when she said all that, the only thing I could think of was Sylph. But then I was like, this character's too tall to be Sylph, right? I mean, unless we had another time skip, or something. But like, also Sylph I think had greener hair than that. But like, a lot of time has passed. Anything's possible, I guess. But if it's not Sylph, I don't know who else it could be that knows that much about Rudy and has a history with Rudy that hasn't shown up at all. That we know as the audience. Like, that has to be Sylph, right? But it doesn't really look like Sylph. That's why I'm conflicted. I guess it could just be the lighting of the scene on the hair color, but I don't know. But that's who it has to be, right? The character's even wearing sunglasses, so to further obscure things. But I'm going to operate on the assumption that Sylph, because that would be ideal, really, because I've been waiting to see that character again. The show is kind of like teased her a little bit, not knowing where she is, but she's probably not dead, right? So heavily implying she would come back in some form, in some important role, and she kind of had to, because she was like the first real friend that Rudy ever made, helping her against bullies or whatever. Basically the first real friend. Everything that Eris did, I thought was going to be with this character, like I said before. You can't just throw that kind of character away, especially not with her character design and all that. So she had to come back in some way. I just had no idea how that would be, but maybe this is it. Whatever this is, like, even if it is Sylph, it's still a lot to be told about this. Because they didn't really give much information. We got a sigil, an emblem, whatever you call that, right? That's probably supposed to indicate where we're located in this area, but I don't know this world well enough. But so yeah, maybe this, I guess, is probably the next place Rudy is going. I mean, he lost Eris and all that, so he has no real direction aside from looking for his mother. So theoretically, yeah, this could be his next destination. Join up with Sylph. Group. I don't know. I really do hope that's Sylph. I haven't even heard Sylph's voice in a while, so I can't even go by that. But yeah, hopefully that's how it is. And if I'm wrong, I'm sure somebody will tell me. But just when she says savior, mentor, friend, literally Sylph is the only one that comes to mind that fits all those categories and has known Rudy long enough to have that kind of faith and trust in him, right? But yeah, that's definitely something to look forward to in a potential next season. But yeah, I think that's all I really got to say on the episode. But like, I don't think there's been any like next season announcements that I'm aware of. But surely there's got to be, right? Got to be more of the show. I mean, you can't end it off here. This is not a conclusive ending. Like, we definitely need more. like without question. There's still obviously so much more story to tell. But yeah, all I know is this is the end for now. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you know, like button, stuff like that. And hopefully I see you in some other video that I do at some point. But until then, bye-bye.